Welcome, everyone, to the Game Vault Podcast. I am your host, Tom Schuster. Joining me tonight are Jenny Aquino and Mark Myers.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Fun day. It's always good to have the gang back.
Agreed.
It's always good. I'm always happy when all three of us are here. Tonight, we'll be recapping Extra Life Day, and we'll be discussing the impact of Valve's new hardware and reviewing our Retro Roulette game, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. But before we get to all of that, what have you been playing, Jen?
All right. So I've been playing a few different things, some new stuff, which is exciting. I played Killer in the Cabin, which is not a new game for me, but I haven't played it in a few years until recently. So that's a really fun game. It's kind of like an Among Us style game where it's much more fun when you have a larger group of people playing it with you. One of you is randomly assigned as the killer when you load in, and the rest of you are the survivors. You can play with voice chat. You don't have to because there's an in-game chat as well. So you basically have to survive in the frozen wilderness together in a cabin, as the name would indicate. And you kind of have to figure out... Right, exactly. You kind of have to figure out who the killer is. And the killer can collect poison, weapons, all kinds of stuff to kill their teammates. So the killer is trying to be, doing this secretly so no one can figure out who the actual killer is, while the survivors are trying to figure out who the killer is and trying to survive. So it's a lot of fun. It's very silly. Unlike Among Us, where that's just a really goofy cartoon style animation, this is more of a realistic style. So it's pretty interesting.
Okay.
There's also a survival element in the sense where you also have to survive the actual wilderness around you. So you could freeze to death, you could starve, you can I think you can die from being exhausted. So if you don't sleep, you can also die. But in exchange, if you if you don't lock your door, if you don't find a key to lock your door, then someone can come in and kill you in your sleep. So it's pretty funny. It gets very intense. But I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, we had a community night on my stream and a bunch of us played together. So I highly recommend it. I think sometimes this game is like $1 on Steam. So if that sounds fun to you, pick it up, check it out.
That's pretty cool.
I really like it. I also played a new game called Midnight Murder Club, which maybe you'll be seeing more of soon. I don't know. That one is pretty much like a hide and seek in the dark type game. It has many different game modes. You can either go up against live lobbies, or you can play with friends, or go up against bots completely. I definitely recommend having a full party that you're playing with in general, because the bots are ridiculously cracked. Like, they one-shot you from across the room in the pitch darkness like no human being could possibly do. So they're a little too on it. But they have a team deathmatch mode and a free-for-all mode, which is really fun. But like I said, you are literally given a flashlight and a gun, and you're either split into teams, or if you're playing on free-for-all, you're not on a team. But you have to find the enemy players and eliminate them. And I guess you can set however long you want the matches to be, but I think on average the matches might be 10 minutes at the most. I guess by default, I should say. But it's really fun. Yeah, but you literally can't see unless you have a flashlight out. So you can choose to see where you're going, but you're also revealing potentially where you are to the other players.
Okay.
The interesting aspect is they introduced cards to the game. So cards are more like perks that you could pick up. The more you play, the more cards you get. So most of the cards are helpful perks that you could bring into the game. So it could be like night vision goggles, which is insanely helpful. It could be a machine gun, which is also very helpful. It could be traps. And then there's a handful of cards that you might get randomly that are punishment cards for you. I haven't come across any of them, but I think I've seen other players have them. But the whole point is, when you're loading into a lobby, if it's a maximum of 6 players in your lobby, there's only 6 cards to choose from. So everyone is frantically picking the card that they want. So you can get stuck with the one card that happens to be a bad one, sort of thing, if you don't pick it fast enough.
Gotcha.
So it's an interesting extra element they added to the game.
Yeah, I guess kind of like hero shooters.
I'm not sure what that is, but...
No, in terms of...
Like Overwatch or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So
where there's only one character,
exactly. Yeah. So you can't double up on the same card, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also they're pulling from Doom 3 where you can either have a flashlight or a gun. And that's it.
Mhm.
You can't have both.
Yeah. That's very possible. That's where they got the idea from. Is literally the trade-off. And it's, like I said, legitimately impossible to see without a flashlight. And one of the funniest aspects of this game is even if you're not in live lobbies, you have this option, but especially for live lobbies as a content creator, you don't usually want to go up against strangers who have an open mic because you don't know what they're going to say. And you're responsible for what they're saying when you're streaming live.
Mm.
This game
Yeah.
has a scramble option. And when I first saw that, I was like, what does that mean, scramble? They literally sound like The Sims. So it literally
Simlish?
scrambles the voice of someone. So it's really funny because it'll be like a slightly different pitch too. So you'll be in the dark and you'll hear people like fighting each other and you'll hear, it's so funny.
So it sounds
It gets intense.
Halo enemies.
Yes, it's so silly. Like any serious moment is completely like turned upside down because of the voices. And you could still make out like I played with Goat one night and we were going up against random people and we were shooting at each other and we got one of them and you could just hear them going and I'm like, oh, they're cursing us out right now for sure. But you can't tell, so scramble mode is
That's a pretty good
ingenious.
idea.
It's so fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
great.
very impressed by that. So, yeah, again called Midnight Murder Club. It's pretty fun. It's interesting because if you buy the game, you can obviously host your own lobbies or do whatever you want, but you can also invite 5 friends to play with you for free. So they don't have to purchase the game. They can download it for free, but in order for them to host their own games or, play by themselves, they have to purchase the game. I think it's like $6 or $7. So not
Even
expensive
so,
at all, but yeah, really
that's
cool
pretty
that they
cool.
let you play for free. So, yeah. And then the
Get that
last
player
new
count up.
game. Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably why they're doing it. So then the last new game for myself that I've played is Satisfactory. I'm not sure if you guys
Ooh.
have heard of that.
Yes.
I have
This,
not.
this is a game that I've been debating playing because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not. So it's a factory building simulator. And I
It
usually
sounds like
don't.
Mark's kind of game.
It's very fun.
I have played a lot of it.
Yeah. I was on the fence because our friend Lansleader, he had played the crap out of it a while back on stream, and I remember watching him and being like, man, I don't know if I would like this game because as much as I like crafting and like open world games and all of that, I don't know if it's too in depth for me to enjoy. But I was very wrong because I love it and I'm obsessed with it. And I currently have just under 60 hours. And I started playing it about 2 weeks ago.
Holy
So,
crap.
yeah, this is a game that there's an amazing review on Steam that sums it up perfectly. And it was, oh man, I had such what did they say? I had such a great day today. I accomplished so much. I built my factories in Satisfactory, and 9 hours later, oh shit, all I did was play a game for 9 hours and didn't actually accomplish anything in real life. I'm a failure.
Yeah.
And that's the game in a nutshell. It's very
So
addictive
Jen,
and time flies. Yes.
how satisfying was it the first time you connected the raw material to the thing that makes it into something, then feeds it into something to go into 2 other things to make something? Like when you start that assembly line chain.
To actually have it work, figure out what you're supposed
Yeah.
to do, have it work properly, and then realize that everything can be automated at some point is very
Oh, set it
satisfying.
and forget it. It's great.
Yes. So, Tom, you start out where you have ore that you have to mine, and then you turn the ore into ingots, and then the ingots have to be smelted into different things. So it's one of those like pyramid type things where you start out with one thing, and then you get one thing that could turn into 2 things, but then those 2 things need to turn into 5 things, and each of those things have different combinations of materials. And if you don't automate your factory and produce all these things for you, the game is completely pointless, first of all. But also, it's going to take you a bazillion hours to create something so simple that you need for everything else. So
Yeah.
it's
And you,
funny. It has a Portal-esque humor to it. Like the computer system is very funny. It insults you. It's very sarcastic.
That's
Um,
funny.
it's fun. It's really fun. There are alien life forms that you can die to. Very interesting creatures. The world is very pretty.
yeah.
It is a very big strain on the computer. My
Yeah.
Legion laptop that I have, it is like 1,000 degrees when I'm playing the game, so I have to kind of take it easy. But it is a really fun game. I currently have a steel factory up and running. I have I'm trying to think, an iron factory. I'm working on my limestone factory.
Okay.
And then I have to work on my it's the last one. What it's called. The one where you have to make all the wires and stuff out of it.
What,
So
copper?
that's my last one. Copper, yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
Um
yeah.
and I'm building my factories up in the air, so I have to connect each floor certain ways. So it's been really
You know,
fun.
it's all
Lanza's been
conveyor
helping
belts,
me.
Tom.
Yes, it's a lot of
Okay.
conveyor belts and splitters and mergers, and you can actually overclock your factory as well in different ways. So that's just a whole nother world that I probably
That
won't
sounds
get into,
interesting.
but it is insane. And I've done a little bit of research online just to see what other people have done, and it blows my mind how creative people are. And it's just wild. It's so in depth, but it's really fun. And like I said, a
Have
huge time suck. So
have
if you can't
have you
afford to
gotten
lose time.
not to can really spoil in these type of games, but
Mhm.
have you gotten the ability to build vehicles yet?
I actually just unlocked that. That was the last
Yeah.
between levels 3 and 4. That was the last thing I went to unlock, and I just unlocked it, so I haven't actually. I unlocked
Yes.
Hyper 2 that I'm really excited for, and elevators. So
Like
God, now I'm
this
gonna
game seems
download my
awesome to me,
Satisfactory.
but
yeah.
at the same time, I am not nearly skilled and or creative enough to come up with stuff
I
like
think
I feel like I would be wasted on this game.
I don't know because I felt like that too. Literally, like I was like, I'm not smart enough to play this because I've seen gameplay of people who like talk you into this. Like it sounds like their professional job, like playing this game. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. But you don't have to do something super complicated. But like Mark was saying before, you have like a storage bin that is on a conveyor belt, stuff coming out, and it feeds into the smelter, and then it feeds into the assembler, and the assembler needs like two different things to make the thing that you need. So then you have to figure out how to like connect everything together in a giant puzzle, kind of. And your
Yeah.
factories are always changing because you have to keep making new items and equipment, and your objectives are always changing. So it's very fun. But yeah, it takes a long time to get through
I
it.
can
I'm only on
I can
level 4
imagine.
after 60 hours. So yeah.
Yeah,
Um
that's quite a time suck, it
yeah.
seems like.
Yeah, I think it's like $30 on Steam, and it might be even cheaper than that, might be like 25. I don't remember. It's not as bad as I expected. I would definitely recommend it, but that's a fun one.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And then
go
I've been
download
playing.
my save now, Jen.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you should. The music
You
is
s-
great too, by the way. So I'd add that in there.
you sparked something in Mark.
I did. This is definitely, I think, one of those games where if you leave and then someone starts talking about either, oh, I'm new to this, or just starts talking about it in general, it definitely makes you want to play. Arc is like that for me. If someone starts going off about Arc, I'm like, I gotta play Arc again. But yeah, I love this game. It's great. Phasmophobia finally released a new map, which is Nell's Diner. So that's been
Oh,
something that's been coming for a bit. I think about well, in our last episode, I think we talked about Nell's Diner. So it was definitely announced for at least a month before this.
yeah.
But it is very fun. They consider it a small map, I believe, which is kind of crazy because it feels like a medium map. But it's awesome. It looks great. There's all these little things that you could pick up or have the ghost pick up and throw. It literally looks like something happened right in the middle of a busy, packed, diner, and everyone just got up and left because the food's everywhere on the table. There's like soda machines, there's soda cans on the floor. It's just something happened and everyone ran out. So it's pretty cool. There are these whipped cream cans that you can turn on and just like spray whipped cream everywhere. So of course everyone's doing that all the time now, which is pretty funny.
Can you spray whipped cream and it reveals the ghost?
I wish, like, if it like clings to the figure of the ghost, that would be terrifying and also hilarious. But no, it just kind of sprays and does nothing. There is a fully functioning kitchen. Like you can go in there. So there's like steaks sitting out on the like the cooktop, and you could turn on the flames. There's a fryer. You could drop the fryer vat into the fryer.
Yeah.
There's like a mixer in there. There's a waffle maker. There's all kinds of stuff that you can mess around with. But that's the catch, because it's so fun, you forget that you've been in the dark for a long time, and then all of a sudden the ghost is hunting you and you're dead because you just want to check out this cool map. They even have like old school arcade games in the like the back area where I guess customers could go when they're on their way to the bathroom. There's a couple interesting arcade games that you could turn on. You can't play them.
Cool.
Yeah, you could turn it on.
That
and
would be
listen to
fun.
music. Yeah, that would be really fun. And then Mark would have to play all the time. I think you would think that the diner is very cool, Mark.
No,
That's
I
awesome.
thought it was pretty cool when I heard it announced. So not
Yeah,
surprised
it's
that
different.
pretty
I
good.
like it. Yeah, and as you can see if you look at the most recent picture of the game in Steam, there's a giant glowing jukebox. So you could play the jukebox. There's only one song, but it's still fun. And when the ghost turns it on, it's kind of scary. But yeah, it's good. It's really fun. I don't think there's any other new stuff with Phasmo other than that. Which leads me to my last game, Dead by Daylight. They had another round of 2v8, which was supposed to have ended already, but they extended it until the 25th. And 2v8 is 2 killers against 8 survivors. And it's way more fun than regular Dead by Daylight, in my opinion, because when you're playing as killer, having someone else there with you that you can work with feels so much nicer than most of the time feeling like you're being bullied by 4 survivors who you're also trying to kill. I think it freshens up the game a little bit and gives you the option to do something a little bit different. They also introduced, so last time they introduced Play While You Wait, which is the killer queues are crazy long. They're at least 20 minutes, usually during prime playing time. And that's way too long to have to wait. That's like old school Dead by Daylight going back 5+ years ago. So they introduced Play While You Wait. So when you queue up for a killer match and you ready up, you pick your killer, whatever. It tells you while you're waiting, do you want to switch to Survivor? And the new thing they added this time was that once you play a Survivor game, you're returned to the killer queue, but you're in the priority queue. So your wait goes from 20 minutes, depending on how long your game took, down to 5 or less, usually.
Well,
So
that's good.
I've had a game that was
That's
a
pretty
minute
good.
wait once I got out of the, like the previous game. So
Because
I
I
think
know
that
you
was
were
the best.
saying previously that
hmm
it didn't put you in it didn't help to be in that other queue. It just kind of
Yeah, because it initially would just switch you into the survivor queue, and then you would come back and be like, "All right, time to start over again." And I was like, "What the hell was the point of that?" So this time, and I could be wrong, I could have missed this from the last time, but I'm pretty sure that the priority queue is new for this round. And there are so many people that didn't even know that priority queue is a thing as well, so that's why even more so I think it's brand new. There are people who are like, "Oh, why would I want to play as survivor when I want to play as killer?" But if everyone did 1-in-1 of each game on and off, it would go by so fast. The wait times would be even lower. So I hope they bring that back, because that was the only way to have an enjoyable time playing as killer in the event, because it took way too long otherwise. But yeah, there's some new changes coming up. They keep testing things in the player test build. And they're going back and forth on anti-tunneling and anti-camping type things. And a lot of people are very unhappy with some of the changes they're suggesting. So the devs are taking a step back and doing a lot of thinking on that stuff. So there's like a lot of changes that are incoming, but we just don't know what exactly yet. I think the game is in a state where they're losing so many players, both old and new, that they're doing a much better job now of collecting feedback and actually listening to it. So yeah, more to come on that. But today they had basically just announced a bunch of, I think, hints on a new killer that they're going to be coming out with for their 10-year, and like an event for their 10-year anniversary.
Oh, Jesus, it's been
And
10?
then I know, yeah. Then they're like releasing a bunch of cosmetics from some contests that they've had over the past few years. So nothing crazy other than these things that are pending. So eventually we'll have a lot of changes coming our way. But other than that, that's all I've been playing.
Yeah, that
Awesome.
that
Yeah.
10th anniversary thing. That's crazy. I remember when
know.
we played the 4th birthday or whatever. of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I've been
Remember?
playing for 6 years, pretty much.
Yeah, it was like the
It's wild.
special event thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Anyway, that's how time works,
stands.
Tom.
That is how
Time
works.
goes much faster when you get past a certain age, and we've passed that certain age.
Oh my god, it really does. It's insane. It should be studied more.
It really should. I'm with you there. I guess I'll jump in real quick because I haven't played a whole lot of stuff. I've been focusing on trying to get through Final Fantasy IX because
Nice.
I fell so far behind of the podcast that I was listening to that
Yeah, they've
it's
already
probably
finished.
been 10 episodes. It's probably been 10 episodes since they finished that series. So I'm just trying to get back to a point where I'm just trying to get through the third disc. There's 4 discs. I'm not sure how long the 4th disc is itself, but the 3rd disc is quite long, and I've been doing a ton of crap. And I've also, when I started the game, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to use a guide. I'm just going to wing it, which was a
Mhm.
mistake because I missed a ton of stuff,
Yeah.
and I kind of regret not doing it. So now I'm gonna have to play through again at some point because I literally did not do any of the chocobo stuff, and apparently that's how you get all the good armor and weapons in the game is doing the chocobo stuff, and I just failed to do any of it. I did like the first thing, and then I was it. I was done. So it's the game hasn't been too hard up until this point. I haven't really needed to grind or do anything crazy. But I started following a guide like midway through the 3rd disc because I was like,
Ooh.
I don't, or it might have been the beginning of the 3rd disc. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a
That-
while since I started, so I
My ooh is
don't
going to
know.
be that knowing the Final Fantasy VI walkthrough we're doing. That guide is going to think you have a lot of things you do not have.
Well, I've come to a point where I just have to skip entire sections because I'm like, I don't have any of this stuff. I'm basically just using it as a walkthrough at this point. I'm not using
Yeah.
it to like try to get gear. Like if something pops up like where I am and I can get to it, I'll do it. But if it says the word chocobo, I skip it. If it says the word frog capture, kind of skip it. I mean, I did a little bit of that stuff, but I kind of stopped because I was like, I don't want to use Kina anyway, so I just let it go. Even though I know that's probably a bad move because Kina's got a lot of good stuff, but anytime I've used she just I can't get in a groove. Like I always feel like anytime I use a spell of like a blue mage spell, it never works. I don't know why. I just feel like it doesn't work right. And I cannot figure out for the life of me why that is.
Yeah, it's
Because
been a long time
again,
since I played it. So
I also like in the 3rd disc found out that there's like a help menu. Like if you press square or you press select, it tells you about like all of your gear and everything else.
oh
I didn't know
yeah.
that. They didn't
That
tell
sounds
you that
helpful.
in the
Well,
game.
Tom, that's because you would have found that out if you went to play online and looked up
Right. I had to go to
the guide.
playonline.com and read that in the get a subscription and then get
The
the
guide.
Prima strategy guide that was the worst strategy guide of all time. But anyway,
That's the great part about 9 in a
yeah, it
joking
was
way is that it's the one that's tied to that play online the most.
it was like if you bought that strategy guide, you got half a strategy guide, and the rest of
Yeah.
it was online.
Online.
And if you didn't have an internet connection,
That's
which
terrible.
at the time was not 100% guaranteed, you would have been pissed.
Yeah.
I know I would have been
Yeah.
if I brought that home and like half the guide was not available for me.
Right.
I-
Yeah.
I would love, I don't know if anybody's done a documentary. I mean, I want a true like documentarian, like maybe No Clip or somebody, not just some random YouTuber, to look into the history of Play Online, like
Oh, I
just
would
the
love to see that.
concept to to the failure, just that was the worst idea. They thought they had something because of the internet was getting big in 1999.
Yeah.
and they just completely did not know how the internet worked. I mean, Square still doesn't really know how the internet works. But yeah,
That's very true.
it's such a thing in video games. That strategy guide thing, that it's just it might end up being an interesting topic. It might be just like, oh, these idiots thought that they could get more money by selling subscriptions. That was it. And
Yeah.
you know,
Who knows? I mean, I don't know whose idea it was. Whoever's idea it was, they probably got fired because
Yeah.
it backfired wholeheartedly. But yeah, other than that, the game's great. I've been enjoying myself. I've just, unfortunately for me at this point, to do the stuff that the guide wanted me to do with all the Chocobo stuff, that would have taken me an extra 20 hours that I just don't have.
Yeah, I
And
skipped the Chocobo stuff, even though I did use a walkthrough.
like if I
didn't do any of
sat and did all that stuff, I will never finish the game.
Yeah.
So, and like I'm thinking to myself, they're gonna put. I got, because I bought Expedition 33, which I need to play before the end of the year. I bought Tony Hawk's 3 and 4, which I need to play before the end of the year. Because we've got Game of the Year stuff, and those two were probably going to be would have been in my top 5 anyway, and I have not played either of them. But yeah, I got to get through it. I gotta like, I don't know how much further I have to go, because there's like a whole story segment that I haven't even touched yet. Like, I haven't touched on anything with what's his name yet, with Zidane. Like,
Okay.
I've got none of his story yet. I imagine that's all of disc 4 is Zidane stuff.
Yeah, I think the end is all. Yeah. I would recommend, and not just because I absolutely love the game. I think it'd be okay to pause it to play Expedition 33 and Tony Hawk.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 9 will always be there. Now that you're not following along with the podcast.
With the podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good idea at the time, but I don't know what happened. I think I went on vacation and it just kind of screwed the whole thing up.
Yeah.
That can definitely happen. I get that.
That happens.
But yeah, other than that, I not a whole lot. I've played stuff on stream. I played Final Fantasy 6. If you've been watching the stream, we're getting towards the end of that game. I can't wait for the end of that game.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna. I may do the Pokemon thing. I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet, Mark, because
guys, it's up to you. Like, Thursday's your baby.
I feel like that's too much grinding, because it's Gen 1, and there's just a lot of grinding in Gen 1, and I don't think anybody wants to watch that. So we'll see. I may do a poll, because I've got a bunch of RPGs to play that I own. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I would throw it in Jen's Discord as well.
Yeah.
The poll.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know how much crossover there is.
I might even throw it in the TCTAM Discord to see,
sure, what
people think.
Yeah. There's, because Goat'll find it. That's the only person that needs to find it.
All right. Yeah, so that's been pretty much what I've been playing. I touched Donkey Kong Bonanza a little bit. Still have a lot of that to play.
You mean Game of the Year nominee Donkey Kong Bonanza?
I'm going on a work trip, so that may be coming with me, or another piece of hardware may be coming with me that I'll speak about in a little while. But yeah, I will report back next episode. On to Mark.
Yes. So, I play a lot of games through the month. And this has been a little bit longer than a month. I'll just go through the highlights.
Okay, yeah, give us the highlights.
Yeah, I played Dispatch all the way through. We played it on Extra Life. The last 2 Saturdays. Probably in my top 3 games of the year. It's a really, really well written, well animated, well voice acted game. I mean, no surprise with the voice acting cast, but you can have the best voice actors in the world, and if your script and story is shit, it's not going to matter. So I played through that. Of course, I chose to romance Invisigal / Invisibitch.
As you do.
Yeah, because when I instantly saw that character, it's like, yep. You would think I would have went for the muscle mommy in Blonde Blazer, but
it's not the right muscle mommy for you.
Yeah. See, if they would have let me romance Malevola, which is voiced by Alana Pierce, which is a Australian demon.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Karlach, for those of you that played Baldur's Gate. That would have been my choice. But when you're only given 2 choices, Yeah, Laura Bailey gets me every time. So yeah. So I got the good ending with her. I did all that. I might go back and play maybe on my own to see some of the other stuff, or I might YouTube it. But Dispatch, if you haven't played it, play it. It's very, very, very good. It's if you love those old Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, Telltale games, Tales of the Borderlands. These are a lot of the same people, and you can see it. And one of the fun trivia things I found out is that this was originally going to be an anime, like was it Invincible or whatever?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like that, and then they didn't get it or didn't get approved or move forward, so then they turned it into a game. And that's why the animation looks like top notch in there. So I played through that. I've beaten Mega Man 3, which for beating Mega Man 3, the best part about these next two Mega Mans I'm doing, because I'm currently playing 4, so I'll mix them both together here. Each of these introduce a very special weapon, or very special thing for Mega Man going forward. 3 introduces a slide, and 4 introduces the charged up original gun. And I got through most of 3 without using much of the slide, which probably would have helped me in a lot of boss fights if I would have remembered it. So I got a feeling that I'm not going to remember to use the powered up blaster in this game at all, and it's going to make things way harder.
Well, another reason that's going to be difficult for you is because you don't run in platformers, so you would never hold that button.
Oh yeah,
like
that's true.
Somebody would in a platformer.
I was in my head. I'm going, there's no run button in Mega Man,
Nope,
and then you
but
went,
there's a charge button.
Yes, and I was like, oh yes, it would be the same button as running in Mario. So yeah. So I already halfway through 4. I can already tell you I don't like it as much as 2 and 3. I think the level designs aren't as good. There's some of the gimmicks are not great. Figuring some of the boss fights so far, even when you have the weakness weapon, it's kind of a little more difficult than it should be. Just because the ring boss, the main problem with that, for those of you that watched, I forgot you could power up, because powering up is a big thing in this. His weakness weapon, which makes him die faster, but his rings are like a boomerang, and it's like physically impossible to avoid them, unless if you've got really quick trigger fingers, which I don't. So that's some of the things so far the bosses haven't been. So I've been playing through that. We got a little bit further in Trails. Got to the next chapter. Basically, finding out that there is another dominatrix type person that was in the circus with Shearzard, that is now on the evil side of here. So that was a cool reveal at the end of the chapter. So far, all the villains are fantastic in Trails that they've had. The Ouroboros Society. So that's been my favorite part of second chapter, is the villains have been fantastic and they're so well written. And then played a lot of NCAA 26 recently. Just I'm at the point where I'm dominating everything, and I'm just waiting for a better job to come up. Just because I'm stuck in the American Conference. Tom will understand this.
Yep.
And it hurts my ranking because there's nobody in my division even close. Like my team is ranked in the 90s, and the best team in my conference is probably low 70s.
If that.
So it just blows through the conference. So I go from number 1 after all my non-conference schedule to like 8 by the time the season ends. I don't like that aspect. They should do strength of schedule, which when I'm playing the top 4 teams in the country, should help. But anyway, I digress on that. That's not important. I did a Master Sword % run on stream. I think we did it in under 40 minutes. It might have been right around 40 something. That's coming up sometime in December. I'm going to do my official run for that. Basically, it's going to be a whole Saturday stream of me just doing run after run after run, and then we'll just submit the best time in it. So that should be fun. That'd be more of a talking through it stream. I'm trying to think what else. There's been a lot. In the last month, I think Ball Cross Pit came out. I played that. That's basically Vampire Survivors. What's that? The block game where you bounce the ball back and it hits the blocks.
Breakout.
Yeah, so it's basically that. That game's fun, but I don't like the game in between the pinball thing. That they have like a sort of resource management thing. It's not really that good. So I haven't played that as much. I think that's about it. Outside of that, I haven't played anything. I started Outer Worlds. Haven't gotten back to that. But yeah, the thing that I'm on the fence about one thing so far. They have a flaws system, and I don't know if I like it.
I don't know if I like that either.
Like you pick, you get to pick 3 like strengths or 5 if you choose a certain thing, and then you have to pick 1 flaw. Then they're the same 3 flaws. And the only one that makes sense to me is there's one that makes you weaker to start. And I'm like, okay, that's better. The other one is like you pick 5. There's 12 categories. I'm forgetting the words they use. There's 12 categories for a thing for your character that level up. There's one where you choose and you can only you pick 5 that will never level up. That's one of the things. And then there's another one where I don't know. And I found out there are other flaws later in the game, like as you go along, as you level up. I don't know if I like the flaw system. I just got to play through. But the obvious one is you get 10% less health to start. And I'm like, that's the easiest one to take. I can make that up, as the game goes along. But yeah, so got to get back into that. Probably, not going to crack the top 4. The top 4 is pretty set for me. I beat a whole lot of Hades too. Forgot about that. I got credits. And I'm getting there in the second half, getting to the true ending. So my top 4 is pretty set. The Expedition 33 is probably number 1. Nobody has surpassed it. But 2, 3, and 4 are Hades 2, Dispatch, and Death Stranding 2. Which Death Stranding made a comeback because I heard people talking about it on the podcast, as Jen mentioned about Stress Factory. And I'm like, oh yeah, that game was pretty good. It's recency bias is going to probably help Hades 2 more than Death Stranding 2. But yeah, looking forward to finish out the year and play, a couple more things that come in. I got to get Sonic Crosswords. It's probably going to be my December game. But yeah, and I'm looking forward to finishing off Trails because I'm almost done and getting into Neo Phantasian from Jonathan. Let me borrow that so that I can play it next. And I was gifted a Wii U from Night Duck. And now I can officially play Wind Waker HD.
Nice.
To which Tom reminded me that there's some kind of Nintendo Direct coming up soon. And if those son of a bitches announce Wind Waker HD on the Switch after I got a Wii U gifted to me, I won't be angry, but it'll be like, of course.
I'm pretty sure that will happen.
I'm going to go on record and say that's going to happen, Mark.
Yeah.
Because
so thank you, Night Duck. It now leaves me with just one system that I absolutely need to have to complete a collection. I mean, I don't have TurboGrafx and stuff like that, but I just need a Saturn, and I will have the Infinity consoles complete there. So yeah, so that's what I've been playing. I could have went deeper into most of them. I'm probably going to talk a lot about Dispatch, Death Stranding 2, Hades 2, and all in our game of the year in about a month and a half. So we can hold off on that talk for now.
Yeah, and like we said, a lot of these games we were playing during Extra Life. So not to date this podcast, but Extra Life Day was
November 8th.
November 8th. And we did a marathon stream that day. Mark did about 12 hours. I did about 4. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, I love doing these marathon streams. It's always nice to sit down and really dig into a game. Even if like you're not going to finish it, it's still a lot of fun to hang out with a bunch of people and enjoy and see donations come in and know that you're accomplishing your goal.
I honestly can't wait for the first Saturday that I don't have basketball, which I think is the 13th of December, so that I can do a proper 12 to 12 stream, of something.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, and we should absolutely be telling people that that's going to happen because those are the best days.
Yeah,
especially so Mark can have somebody to hang out with during the day also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I will advertise and we'll throw it in the Discord and stuff like that. I just got to double check. I think it's the 13th. Whatever, it's the second Saturday in December. And then I think it's every Saturday after that. I think they go on winter break. I do scoreboard for college basketball. So they go on winter break in like the middle of December. So yeah. And then obviously, we'll get deeper into it. The big stream that I do at the end of the year is still December 3rd.
Yeah, and that's always fun watching DJ Mark do his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Jen, are you planning on doing any marathons? You don't have to. I'm just curious if you're planning on it.
If I was going to, I haven't planned anything yet, but if I was going to, it would probably be when my sister-in-law is here, just because we'll have an extra set of hands for my son. I would say it probably would be like a maximum of, I don't even know if I can commit to. I was going to say 6 hours, but I feel like that's a really long time for my son to go without me, knowing that I'm downstairs. But I do work from home during the day on Thursdays, and he doesn't see me for most of the day because Dan watches him. So maybe 6 hours. We'll see. I'm going to say that it probably would not be more than that. But I'll definitely think about it, and I'll be updating all the Discords as well. I would like to, if I can.
And I do believe we will be doing a Jackbox stream on December 3rd. No, not 3rd. 6th, December 6th at 8:30. So we'll get the whole gang together. Granted, we won't be in the same place, but we'll have everybody on Discord and coming through the stream.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have the best thing about those Jackbox streams is that you have audience participation. So anybody who's watching can play along.
Yep.
And make terrible, awful jokes.
Yeah.
And try not to get banned from Twitch.
Yeah, and maybe we'll even jump into some Midnight Murder Club if we can get that up and running.
Trust me, we just went through an entire Extra Life stream and stuff with Dong and Boobs out for Dispatch. So
yeah, but that's part of the game, Mark. That's not somebody saying these things. Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mark, what were some of your highlights? I know you did a food challenge during this.
Yes. So I learned a lesson in good and bad ways. The good way is that I learned that I can eat 23 nuggets and not be a problem because I was worried that I was going to get like sick. I did not want to eat chicken for a little bit. That became a thing. I literally ordered a pizza just so I could have something else to eat at some point in the night. Despite putting 23 nuggets in my body, I'm like, I just need to put something else in my body.
That's not breaded chicken.
That's not breaded chicken. So I did that. So what I did was for every, and this is still going on until the end of the year, every $5 or more donation, I will spin a wheel of hot sauces. And then I will cover an entire chicken nugget with said hot sauce and eat it whole, as Tom was shocked to find out when I did it for the first one. And there was a all capitals chat message that said the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's the way to get all the hot sauce into my mouth at once.
Well, I was expecting like taking it a little slow and not eating all of it at once.
But yeah, so I learned lesson on the first day. Was that I was not putting enough hot sauce on the nuggets. I was still doing a good amount, but the ghost pepper still affected me on the first day, even with less on there. Then second week, I decided to take off all the non-4-star and higher hot sauces, which left me with 4. And we did 5 chicken nuggets with that. And basically I got 2 ghost peppers back to back. I think it was back to back, and I just smothered it in there. And that was the thing I learned is that as Goat, the old Goat in our chat on Twitch, let me know is that ghost pepper affects the back of your throat the most, is where the heat is. And when you're talking a lot, the back of your throat burning, not really a good thing. So there was a lot of coughing, or at least me trying to hold in coughs and eyes tearing a bit. I don't know if it came across on camera, as every time I tried to speak, it was just burning. But that is still going on. I cook a whole batch of nuggets for each stream. So that will be ready even for the Jackbox stream. And then we will, see what happens. So if you donate $5 or more, and if you read our donation page, you will see a very good strategy that one Anthony Del Vecchio employed to make
Not
me
just
eat a lot
one,
of
not just
nuggets.
one Anthony Lavecchio. It was all the Del Vecchio.
All the Del Vecchios. And Luke Del Vecchio got the chance to be the last donation. And I got Ghost Pepper on that one. Well, wink, wink, if you watch the stream. It didn't land on Ghost Pepper. I just did it. And filled it up and was the wrong choice because I had to continue streaming after that. But he did get to watch me and suffer because of his donation.
Honestly, I'm surprised the dogs didn't donate and
Yeah.
the cats.
Yep.
It's still time. I'm surprised Lynn didn't do that either, to be honest with you. And so that's still going on. My favorite part of the big night was Dispatch because we played through that. I was going to go a little longer after the last Dispatch. I played like late night post game Hades after that, but episode 6 ended on such a bummer that I just like lost all my energy, and I was just
Which is
like,
understandable. Yeah, I know when you came back the next day, you were like, all right, we got to get through this so we can get back to the good stuff.
Yeah. It was a really good ending, but I only had the 6 episodes, and then they released the next 2 during the week between the 2 streams. So I had to end with that sad cliffhanger. And I just did 2 hours of Hades and was just like, I was going to play some NCAA for you guys, but I'm pretty bummed right now. And it was like 3 in the morning also. I was trying to get the sunrise. That was my plan, but I didn't have any more like oomph to go on. So yeah, that was my favorite part was interacting with my tribunal, which was Tom and Goat on the choices, which mostly became Goat at the end. And,
I didn't want to steer you. I didn't want to steer you in the wrong direction. Also, I was asleep at like.
No, it's what I meant. The
10:30.
last 2 episods, I think you had gone to bed, and then I had the devil on my shoulder.
Yeah,
Yep.
goes to bed.
For the rest of the but he did basically the same choices I was going for. He pushed me towards one thing that I thought I was going to regret doing, but then they instantly let you make it up in the next scene. So that was good. But yeah, that's what I loved. And it's fun, doing this kind of streams. We're gonna we've already would have passed this Saturday, which is I think just going to be now I may come out being a liar. But this may just be a long trails in the sky, just 4 or 5 hours of trails. I haven't thought of another game. I had an idea for a game, but I'm like on the fence about getting it. I may save that for one of the Decembers, like when I do the 12 hours.
They have more time to do it.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's his 10th year doing it. It's insane. We're definitely going to cross our goal. I know once, we get everyone involved and, we always push over the edge when we get the full gang together in some form, whether it's just, we get some of the people from Jen's chat comes over, our normal people come over. They usually help get us over the finish line for stuff. And then we have goals, which we've already gotten one.
Yes.
So Jen is going to do.
You can explain your goals.
Yeah, so I'll quickly pull up our list. I can go through them all really quick if you want.
Yeah, and I added one thing to the 750 goal. I'll say it when you.
Okay. So yeah, our first goal was $500. I would do my Lady D cosplay. So it's kind of not even an inside joke in my community, but it's sort of where I had promised to do this on stream on that channel. I think I might have done it on Game Ball at one point a long time ago, but I never wound up doing it on my channel for whatever reason. And then my contacts that I had that were prescription, but they were like that bright yellow glowy look that she has in the game, they dried out. So I was like, oh, I can never do it. Ha ha ha. So I decided I was gonna bring back my Lady D cosplay that hopefully still fits. We'll see. And then 750, Mark, if you want to cover that one, because that one's yours.
Yeah, so I'm going to do my Expedition 33 cosplay. I have the baguette skin or costume or whatever you want to call it in the game. If you played the game, it's an if you know, you know for that. So, and the addition is once we hit 750, I have promised to, again, this was having Goat on my shoulder, take an entire chicken nugget and literally smother it in the ghost pepper sauce.
That is such a goat suggestion because he loves spicy stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know if I was like hemming and hawing about something, and he basically just said, "Just do it" or something like that in the chat.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Just do it.
So
What's
yeah,
the worst
so
that can
once we
happen?
get the goal as a celebration, I will completely smother a chicken nugget in ghost pepper sauce and suffer. I hope it happens on our combo stream, to be honest, so that I don't have to carry on for a little bit. But
True.
I'll do it if it happens. Well, they won't know it. Well, no, I've been announcing it. Maybe it will happen. I've already done it, and I'm suffering as when this podcast is. But yeah. So that's the 750. That's our goal. And then we have stretch goals. I will say, oh well, Jen's got one, and then we'll go back and forth.
Yep. So our first stretch goal is 850. So going back to the context for Lady D, I said that if we hit the 850 stretch goal, I would order new bright yellow prescription contacts so I could see what I'm doing, but also look cool. And then 1,000.
Yeah, $1,000 is a joint one with us.
Yes.
It's the one I do every year for 1,000, I believe. I play a Night of Phasmophobia with Jen and friends.
Yes.
And
I just think it's funny how it takes $1,000 to get you to play Phasmo.
For the kids, Jen. For the kids.
That's so funny.
That's what it is.
Which just involves Jen, Land's leader, and whoever the third person is, protecting me from the ghost for an entire stream.
Trying really hard, usually failing.
Or Mark just running out in the middle of the room and just bringing all attention to himself.
The last time I think you died in the same spot in the same map, but 2 different games twice.
Yeah, twice. Yeah, in the same spot.
And you're like, well, whatever, I'm dead.
Yeah, no, I didn't do a Left 4 Dead or whatever thing and go, oh, witch.
Yes. Oh my god, forgot about that.
No, I did not do that in this game. I literally ran and hid in a spot and died in it.
Yep. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, and then I'll say my next two, and then I don't know if you have any in Jen, but
I don't, but maybe more to come. Who knows?
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We have time.
Yep.
As we get closer, we can just figure it out on the spot.
True.
At 1,500, I will play a night of streaming with the podcast favorite niece, Kitty Ashcat. Probably be like Marvel Rivals or Rainbow or Six Siege or something, or whatever she's into, because she's essentially the Call of Duty bro of the relationship.
We get to Mark. We see Mark struggle at FPSs again.
Oh yeah. But it probably end up being Rivals or something like that, because she's really into magic. The character, not the concept,
not the game.
Yeah, not the game. Yeah, I got a great Christmas ready for her. I can tell you it's about that off stream. But that is 1,500, and 2,000 is one, because if we ridiculously get to 2,000, I will do this despite how long this will take to finish. I will complete Red Dead Redemption 2 on stream. It is a famous thing amongst everyone, group of friends, and the people that have been with us a while, that I quit Red Dead Redemption 2 after I spent almost over an hour hunting and finally got a perfect pelt to be able to upgrade something. And then I was immediately ambushed by the O'Driscolls and lost the perfect pelt. And I just said, fuck this game, and uninstalled it.
We've got to get to $2,000.
Yeah.
I need Mark to finish this game. Even Ant, who doesn't play any video games, finished this game. You need to finish the game.
Oh man, I need to finish the fight.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Speaking
so that's
fight,
what
I just came up with a 2,500. Actually, I'll do 2,200. It will be Halo Night for the Game Vault podcast again, and we'll go and play.
Those were the days.
We'll go and play, we're gonna go and play Halo and suck, and you're all gonna watch.
Yep, it's gonna be more punishment for everyone watching.
You heard it here first. $2,200. Get us there. We have Halo Night.
And the one thing, and this might happen before this podcast comes out, we might actually hit that 750, just because I remembered one of my coworkers usually donates pretty high, and she was on vacation when we did the first night, and then I forgot to remind her this week to donate. So we're probably going to be pretty close to 750 by the time hopefully this podcast airs.
But yeah,
I'm excited.
This has been a lot of fun.
Mhm.
If you are listening to this the day it comes out, make sure you are watching on December 6th at 8:30. We'll be doing a Jackbox stream. You'll be able to interact, play along, and watch us be stupid on stream. And who knows, some faces that you don't normally see may show up. There may be a Bat Dan. Who knows? Anything can happen. But yeah, on to our next topic, which I kind of teased something before, but we're going to talk about what new hardware Valve has recently announced.
Yes.
So we've all been curious about the Steam Deck for quite some time. None of us have ever bought one.
Nope.
Until yesterday. I purchased a Steam OS device to try, because I've been wanting to do this forever, and Black Friday sales have come along and everything else. So I decided to finally take the plunge. And it's really interesting to me how Valve's hardware already has kind of created this zeitgeist around handheld PCs, and the fact that now everybody has one. Xbox has one. I'm surprised PlayStation doesn't have one yet. They have their own streaming thing, but that's different. But the Steam machine is now the most interesting thing to me. PC gaming has always been a barrier to entry for a lot of people because one, expensive, two,
Yes.
it's hard to configure, and three, it can be intimidating. So Valve has tried the Steam machine before, but at the time that they were doing it, hardware was not where it needed to be in order to have a console-like experience with a PC in your living room. It was just hardware was not fast enough to make it that small and make it compete with a console. I want to know where you guys are coming from with. I know you guys are more recently been converted to PC gaming.
Yeah.
If this machine, and I'm gonna speculate here, came out at $499 and you had not been a PC gamer yet, would you make the jump, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, so I'll jump on this because I'm only really invested in one of the things you were going to talk about here. I have been looking at Steam Deck, handheld stuff, and I realized I don't even play my Switch undocked at all. So I was like, oh man, I really want this. I even purchased a mini computer from Tom to be able to do some Steam gaming on a TV. I have the Steam Link, that thing they sold for like $5 when it was going out of business.
Yep.
Or so I got
I have
that.
one too. That's when I got it.
So, I got all that because and then they announced the Steam machine. And I believe that if you haven't already gone to PC gaming and you want to check out Steam, I think for the games that would draw a console gamer over, I think the Steam machine should be powerful enough to do it, and $400 to $500 would be a good price point in. It would be right around what consoles usually cost and all that. I don't think that's going to be the price for the Steam machine, but I 100% with Tom.
There's going to be 2 SKUs. We should mention that.
Yeah,
there's going to be.
I don't even think the lower SKU is going to be $500.
I'm just speculating. I'm just saying $500 because that's what a console costs.
Yeah, I said on the Game Vault Podcast News Hour, which you can listen to every Sunday at 9, and with all podcast services. The price for the big one is going to be $1,000 or $1,100, and the small one will be about $7,000. Was my prediction. And just tariffs and all that, and chips and RAMs and all that stuff is going to make it higher than it should be. I agree that $400 to $500 should be the price point for the 512 gigabyte one. But I don't think it's going to be that. I think the thing, and I'll throw this back to Tom. I think the thing with the Steam machine now is I think they are finally ready to do this, as opposed to when they did it 10 years ago or whatever, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was closer to 15. But I think the other thing was they didn't build it themselves the last time.
Yeah,
they licensed this operating system out to companies who didn't really care, or they didn't give it as much thought as they probably should have. and they all kind of sucked.
Yeah, and Jen, I know you're probably use the Switch more handheld than I've ever used, so I don't know where you stand on this stuff.
Yeah, I usually use the Switch handheld, so I'm the opposite of you. I usually don't dock it except when my sister-in-law is here and we're playing like party games and stuff on there. But for me the Switch is my cozy gaming go-to console, so I would, if it was around the $500 price, I would definitely, I think, have jumped right on this if this was like my introduction, like we were saying, to PC gaming. Because it's that perfect link between the two, I feel like. That being said, I think 512 gigabytes is nowhere near as much storage as you should have if you're going to be getting this. So obviously, if Mark's correct, and we're looking at over $1,000 for a terabyte or something, that's pretty steep.
I mean,
So
I would say that it has expandable storage, so you can upgrade the storage in it. Luckily that's one of the things that they allow you to upgrade.
that is
I think
nice.
RAM is upgradable as well.
Wow.
Could be wrong. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that's
I
the
How
case.
big is this thing?
The GPU is I think locked. I think it's special GPU.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's a cut down version of an RX 6600, I think they said, or
Yeah, something like that.
or
Yeah.
67 or 6600,
So
which is a bit of an older card, but
Yeah.
again, they're banking on people using FSR and upscaling, which again, these things didn't exist the last time they tried to make
you mean
a product like this.
FSR, Tom? Full screen resolution? I don't know if you caught you. I don't know if you were there live, Jen.
No, I
reading
caught that,
this
and
when I was reading
Jonathan
the
was not
story,
he
Jen.
was not happy about it.
It was
Is this
FSR.
dispatch?
No. This was the stream.
Oh,
News
no,
hour
I don't
when I
think
was talking.
so.
I was talking about this, and I said FSR. I was like, "Oh, is that like full screen resolution?" And I almost gave
Night Duck.
Night Duck a aneurysm in the chat.
But to clear that up, it's Fidelity FX Super Resolution. So it's
Yeah.
basically an upscaling thing, just like NVIDIA has theirs, Intel has theirs, AMD has theirs, which is FSR.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and to answer your question that you're throwing in there, Jen, it is cube shaped. It is a cute little cube shaped system that
Okay.
that a company is making a companion cube shell for.
So is this like the size of the GameCube or smaller?
No, it's bigger than a GameCube,
it's bigger
but there's
than
been
Bigger than a
jokes
GameCube.
about it being a GameCube.
Yeah,
It's
Gotcha.
it's
technically
probably
is a GameCube.
yeah,
Literally.
So also people have created a custom intro screen for their Steam Decks that it does the G logo like the GameCube. And
Yeah.
It's red, and then it hits, and then instead of saying GameCube, it says Gabe Cube.
Of
Like
course.
Gabe Newell of Valve, which I thought was pretty
Funny.
fun. This guy, it's amazing. This Valve and Steam has gone through so many ups and downs. They've just been hitting on all cylinders for about 10. And this, I'm thinking this thing is going to be another hit for them.
Yeah.
If it's the right price, that's like the biggest concern is the price, because they haven't mentioned it. They showed off all this stuff. They said there's 2 SKUs. Usually that means you're gonna have one that's really expensive, because I think that one has more RAM and more storage, and the smaller one only has 512 gigabytes, and I think it has 16 gigs of RAM. Either way, it should be usable. It should work well for what they want it to do. Now, for me, all of my Steam games are like 10 years old, so something like this would be great if I didn't invest in having multiple gaming PCs in my house. This thing would have been like perfect. And if I didn't have little kids running around knocking things over, having a computer in my living room would have been fine. But I feel like this is aimed towards a casual gamer, someone who likes that console experience.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part about Steam is games are generally less money on Steam than they are on PlayStation and they are on Xbox.
There's a lot more sales at the very least.
A lot more sales.
Yeah.
There's a humongous back catalog, like enormous. I can't even begin to tell you how many games I have on Steam, and I have never even touched them because I
Yeah.
bought them when they were $1.
Yep.
Which I'm going to tease something right now. Be on the lookout for a segment next year dealing with this gigantic backlog. Not just mine, everybody's.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun one.
But yeah, so I think it's really awesome that they're coming out with this thing. I think it's like a beginner friendly Steam box that can handle newer games and definitely handle older games. And I feel like it's going to be a gateway drug for people to get into to PC gaming. Because not only that, they're going to release a controller for said Steam box. Are they calling it just Steam Machine? I don't even know if they gave it a
I'm
name.
seeing Steam Machine. I
Yeah.
haven't even seen this until you just said Cube, and then I'm like, I have to see this thing. I was imagining it was more of a handheld device, like a Switch.
No, so this is a console like experience.
Yeah.
Look up the controller.
Console. Yeah, it's a console-like experience following the pricing model of a PC, is what I'm seeing.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
I'm
but I'll look
hoping
at the controller.
it's less than a PC. I mean, even if it's like 700, if it's 699, I think you have a chance. But
Yes.
just because of how much like a PS5 Pro costs, but I don't know. Because
Huh.
again, you have an enormous catalog. That's really their main selling point is
Yeah.
the catalog.
So I'm seeing the controller, the cube itself, a
Yeah.
VR set, and
Yep.
what appears to be a stretched out Switch. So it's like a controller with a screen. So I don't know if
That may just be somebody screwed around with the Steam Deck. I don't know what that is.
yeah, I don't
What's
know.
coming out is the Steam Machine, the Steam controller, and the VR headset. So I want to get your opinions on the controller. So this controller has 2 joysticks, your
Mhm.
standard time and layout. It's got your triggers, everything normal like that. But it also looks like an Atari Jaguar controller, and it has 2 touchpads on the bottom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So now, as you probably know, Jen, you're fully a PC gamer.
Yep.
You need
Never
a
going
mouse
back.
for a lot of stuff.
Right.
These touchpads are supposed to be just like you moving your mouse around. And I believe they're you can click on them as well to be double click or left click, right click. What do you? Yeah, that's just a Steam Deck. Jen.
Okay. Well, the Steam Deck has those little
It's got the
mouse
touchpads as
pads
well.
on there
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
people who use them swear
Mhm.
by them. I've never
Hmm.
seen somebody say I never use it. I see people using them all the time.
I'm just trying to like think in my mind how you would use both of them at the same time. I don't
You
know.
probably wouldn't use
As a
both.
mouse.
You'd probably use one more than the other,
Right.
I would think. Yeah,
I
because
would
I think
imagine it's like whatever your mouse hand is when you do mouse and keyboard is
Uh-huh.
probably the side you would lean towards to use it.
I
Yeah.
think probably especially if you're playing like an FPS, I would imagine the right pad would be your mouse aiming.
Mhm. That makes sense. I feel like it's something that you just have to pick up and be like, "Oh, I get it," sort of
And
thing.
well, the best part is like with Steam, you can remap everything. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
the best part. Steam input is another big thing.
Mhm.
You can map any button to any key that you can think of. Combinations, macros, all that stuff. I think that controller is interesting, especially for if you're using it in a PC setting. It enables you to play games that you would need a mouse, and you don't have to get up and pick up a
That is
keyboard and a
nice.
mouse.
Yeah.
I-
And it does look like the front of the console has some kind of a USB port maybe where you could plug in a keyboard or a
Yeah,
mouse if
it's
you really
got-
wanted to.
Yeah, it's got all standard PCIO. It's got USB 3. I think it's got USB-C on the back, and it's got HDMI display port. So you can hook it up to a monitor. You could hook it up to a TV. It's it's just a standard PC, and it's
That's cool.
funny. All of the hardware is like packed right in the middle there. It's just
Yeah.
if you slid the top off, you would just see metal. That's where all the stuff is right there. They packed it in good.
So I wonder how easy it would be to update, the different parts that you can upgrade.
Well,
Happy to get in
luckily
there.
they thought about those things, and the bottom slides off, and that's
Mhm.
where the storage is. That's where you can
Okay.
upgrade your SSD under there.
Cool.
So that it's a pretty simple upgrade, and it also has an SD card slot. So I didn't talk about this. I just thought of this now. So if you already have a Steam Deck and you have games installed on an SD card, you can eject the SD card out of the Steam Deck, plug it into the Steam machine, and it automatically works.
That's amazing.
There,
Yeah.
That's great.
there's nothing you got to do to make it work. It just you plug it in and then your games are there. I think that is really cool too, especially for people who like the Steam Deck. It kind of becomes a more like Switch-like experience.
Right.
Granted, you can plug a Steam Deck in and make it go and use the USB-C dock and make it go to a TV, but I think that's really cool.
Yeah, the Steam Deck also has its limitations as far as what is compatible to be played on there. So
right.
This is cool because it's not completely eliminating that. They're working together harmoniously, I will say.
Yes. Now, the thing that I'm least excited about is the VR headset because VR is one of those things that I just bounced right off of. I don't like having a thing on my face for that long. I wear glasses as it is, and I get sick of wearing glasses. I can't imagine trying to play a game for more than 15 minutes with a headset on.
I've never gotten to try the most modern iteration of VR, and it's something that I really want to try to see if I would like it or not, because Phasmo has VR, and that's just crazy.
As somebody that has a Quest 2, I can say my favorite part of looking at this thing is the back pad for the back of the head. There.
I imagine that would get uncomfortable if it's just that strap behind your head.
Yeah, it gets a little uncomfortable.
It looks like a little pillow.
This also doesn't have the strap on top of the head, which probably makes it fit better.
Yeah, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. It's a little less stable, I would think, but who knows? I don't know. I'm not I wouldn't be the expert to tell somebody if it was good or bad for comfort. The interesting thing about this headset is that you can use it connected to a PC, or it will standalone work with Steam.
The Steam learned when Meta went with the Quest, which is completely detethered from a computer, that they had to come out with something because nobody wanted wired to computer to headset anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a whole lot more flexibility to use it where you want, when you want.
Right.
And I think selfishly, this thing working with Steam, it has an ARM chipset and works on Android. That will make porting Steam to handheld devices like say your Retroids or your AYN Odins and things like that. It will make porting Steam games to them much easier now that Steam will work natively on an ARM processor. And that excites me because I have a lot of those devices and I know some people that have them too. And it's an interesting prospect. But again, VR to me is like it's still so niche. I don't know why. It never got mainstream. Like it kind of got more popular when, the Meta Quest came out and you could untether from a computer, but I still feel like it never had that killer app to make people want to put on a goofy looking headset in their own house.
There are multiple games that are good. Like Super Hot's real good in it, and I think it's Thumper or one of those like.
Well, I mean, the only games I ever see people playing are Super Hot or Beat Saber. That's it.
Beat Saber, that's the word I was looking.
Yeah, Beat Saber.
Yeah, Beat Saber's real good.
Those are the only games I ever see people play.
I hear Half-Life Alyx is good.
Yeah. I imagine this should play Half-Life Alyx, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and I'm excited that they're coming out with all this stuff. I kind of want to get a Steam controller just to try it out. Like I said, I have a Steam OS device on order, so I've always been curious, and I'm happy I'm going to get to try it out. These things will all run Steam OS, basically a big picture mode like type thing for like any console would run. Hit the button, turns it on, automatically see your library. You don't have to. It does have the ability to go to desktop mode if you really want to mess with that, but I think the simplicity of it is great. And I know it sounds like I'm just over the moon about this stuff. I'm just excited about new hardware, honestly, because everybody's got it's been all crap with Xbox and PS5, just constant price raises, constant stupid shit that Xbox is doing. So something like this is just making me happy that there's going to be new hardware, new competition. So maybe stuff will get cheaper. And who knows?
That would be
Never know.
nice. I hope
It
that
would
I hope that it's not quite the price of not a beefy gaming PC, but like a moderate even. I hope that it comes in, like you said, around 700 or something, where it makes sense for people to maybe jump ship on consoles so that they maybe start getting their act together.
Yeah,
But,
I was more getting my pricing as well as going off what the Rogue Ally, was priced at, and that being strictly handheld. And this being a console, like
Right.
more powerful than that. That was just my thinking
Yeah.
on that.
No,
Yeah, but
I mean, I hadn't looked into this at all, and all I'm seeing about it is how it's going to be pricier than like a Switch would be. So I get
yeah,
it
but
though.
you also got to look the like the Nova Legion Go 2 is $1,300, but you can buy an Xbox for $599 or whatever it is, or
Right.
$650.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
So
just don't trust Steam to
I mean,
get the pricing right.
they've kept the price of the Steam Deck at a constant since it came out. It's never gone
That's
above
true.
650. I think
That's
650 is
nice.
the highest price I have. So, I mean, they don't have to. Here's the other thing: Valve doesn't have to make money on the hardware. Once they have you,
Mhm.
they have you. 'Cause
Right.
right now, I'm looking at my games, and I have 130 games. I've never played 3/4 of them. So they don't once they like I said, once you're in the ecosystem and you're buying games and they're putting games on sale for $3, you don't need anything
Yeah.
else. It's not like Sony where they have to make money on the console.
Right. Do we think that this could potentially be the new direction for all consoles, where physical media is just so obsolete that they're all basically mini computers like this?
I think we're on the way there.
Yeah.
I with the PS5 Pro not coming with a disk drive,
Yep.
I think we're already heading in that direction. And
Mhm.
even with the Switch, like a lot of games, if you buy it physically, the game's not even on the card. That's just your DRM, because they can't fit games over, I don't know, 50 gigabytes on them. So like even like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is like 90 gigabytes and it won't fit on the card. But basically you just stick the card in and it reads it, and then it downloads the whole game.
Right.
So as much as I hate it, I think it's already happening.
Yeah.
With I like places aren't even carrying Xbox games anymore. It's sad, but I, I'm in the minority, I think, at this point, of people who want physical games.
Maybe.
Which
Yeah. I don't know. I've heard, I mean, just within our group of friends, I've heard the majority of us reminiscing and, starting to talk about collecting physical media again. So,
I
but millennials are very nostalgic. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I've been Switch cartridge only, which
Me too.
Nintendo is making it hard once I get to Switch 2.
That's the thing.
Still
Like
do
with
that.
the Switch 2, you have to look and see if the game is on the card. Because if
Yeah.
it's not, I won't even buy a physical copy if it's not on the
Yeah.
card itself.
Yeah, we
But yeah,
Craziness.
I mean, not to end on a downer, but I am excited for this thing. I hope to God it's not too much money.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, I'm also interested to see if Valve will license Steam OS to other people like they did for their handhelds with Lenovo. I would be interested to see if you'll see other people make Steam machines again.
And the one thing that's a whole different conversation for another time is this obviously this is probably with SteamOS being a Linux-based thing, is with the way Windows 11 is just failing completely because
Mhm.
it was partially made with AI. Who would have seen
Uh,
this coming?
Shocking.
Shocking. That this thing being good enough to show that maybe Linux-based systems are the future.
Right.
You know.
Open source, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Jen, maybe that's our answer. Maybe we need to install Linux on your computer.
You know what? At this point, Tom, why not? Let's just do it.
We'll
I'm
call up
down.
Gabe. We'll get it on there.
Yeah, that'll be great.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think of the new Valve hardware that's coming out. You think you're going to pick it up? You think it's dumb and nobody should buy it? Let us know. Hit us up at Game Vault Pod on Blue Sky and Threads and YouTube and pretty much everywhere else that we are. Or come find us on our Discord or join us in our live stream and yell at us because we love it. Anyway, speaking of live streams, I live streamed the game we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about our Retro Roulette game of the month, which is Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island for the Super Nintendo Entertainment. I feel like this game gets forgot a lot. Not too sure why. I mean, I guess because it came out at such the tail end of the Super Nintendo that not a lot of people picked it up.
Yeah, wasn't 64 already out?
Yeah. Yeah, the 64 was already out. So it was kind of in that weird gap where people were buying Nintendo 64s and not buying anything for the Super Nintendo.
And I feel your confusion because this game is largely not in the pantheon of Super Mario games, is largely forgotten. A lot of people remember them, but nobody mentions it. They'll go to World first or they'll go to 64 around this time period. But I don't know if it has anything to do with the timing because Super Mario RPG came out during the same time period, and that game, was carried through the, it didn't get lost in the shuffle. So
yeah,
I think I have a theory, and I'll let you jump. Continue.
Well,
I think it's because it's the look of the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably the art style.
Yeah.
But I want to hear where Jen's coming from with Super Mario World 2 because this would have been a game that came out right around when she started gaming for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would this have been something you would have played?
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. I was actually surprised that I had never played it before. As far as I can remember. So I was looking forward to this game and I was extremely excited that it was on the Switch. So I got to play it on the Switch. And I'm not even lying to you. I started playing this game the night that we recorded our last podcast. It was one of those nights where like the baby was asleep already and we were just in our room, watching TV or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick it up right now because who knows how often I'm going to get a chance to play this. And I immediately fell in love with it. So again, can't believe I hadn't played it before, but fine because here we are now.
Well, it's one of those games that it didn't get re-released a bunch of times. Like Super Mario World, I feel like was released 4 times.
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah,
and
it was interesting. It wasn't.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is it's hard to emulate. So if it wasn't being emulated on something with enough horsepower, it kind of ran like crap.
Yeah,
so that's probably part of it.
There's a lot of literally moving parts to each level. So I get that. That makes sense. Yeah, I think it was great. I think, I don't know, what is it, like a 30-year-old game, and it still feels really good overall. It doesn't feel janky or anything. I really like the style of the art in the game too. It's colorful, and the music is fun. I thought it was a little weird that Mario was a baby, but I got over that really quickly. I knew it was about Yoshi and baby Mario, but I was just like, oh, that's weird, but whatever.
Did you want to just let Baby Mario go at some point in the game?
Yes. So my biggest frustration was when he would go floating up in the air and you had X amount of seconds to try to jump and get him back before he gets snagged away for real. And the crying just set me over the edge a few times. I was like, you know what? Just fucking go. I don't care. Get out of here.
Jen got triggered by the screaming child.
It was like, but no, it was good. I liked how all the Yoshis did different things, like the colors. They introduced the colorful Yoshis and the eggs and all of that. I was expecting to get overwhelmed by how many things there were that were being introduced, but I don't think it was necessarily overwhelming. It was just, new levels, new worlds are going to introduce new things. so I had fun with it. I liked the extra levels that they put in there to get, the extra coins or whatever it was. I liked how you could navigate. Like obviously you can go backwards, you can go up and around objects, you can figure out different ways to go through the level without having to only go one way, sort of thing.
Mhm.
So I really like
Gave
that.
you gave you options.
Yeah, a lot of options. I got into the third world. I can't remember. It has been a bit now since I picked it up last. I might have gotten about halfway through the third world, I'll say. But this is definitely a game that I want to come back to because when I have time to actually sit down and play it, I have a lot of fun with it. So, yeah, it was. I think the other thing that was sort of frustrating was there's a bit of that slipperiness.
Mhm.
That a lot of platformers have where I can't remember now because it's been a while again, but there was a certain level where I was getting very frustrated. It might have been the third world. There's a lot of platforms that you had to jump on quickly because the blocks would fall if you were on it for too long, and the
Oh,
slipperiness
I think that was the end
was
of the
that
first world had that.
maybe.
Where they were like you would stand there for too long, it would start falling, and they had
There
auto
was a
scrolling.
few. Yeah. Oh God, that level was so annoying. You just reminded me. Yeah. Yeah. I think the one that I was just thinking of was later on, but yeah, that auto scrolling. Anything where you have to be jumping quickly and you have that sliding that you have to account for, it's a little bit of a, you have to like do it a few times, get used to it. But nothing in this game that even frustrated me a little bit was enough to ruin it for me as a whole. I
Yeah.
had a lot of fun with it. I'm going to continue playing it for sure.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I figured it was good, but I'm pleasantly surprised still.
Awesome. Mark, where are you coming from with this game?
Yeah, so I famously played it on stream. There is an archive on our YouTube channel of me playing through this entire game. It was one of the first Retro Roulette endorsed friends. It might have been the first.
I think it was the first one, yeah.
Yeah. I adore this game. I had a lot of fun with it. There's a great clip. I think still attached to our Twitch channel, or it's definitely on the YouTube channel, of me doing this miraculous save with the Yoshi. You restrain him and he goes, "Rrr," you know. And I landed on the platform and then, celebrated, and then I jumped and got hit immediately by a flying tree
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
and fell into a pit. So it's like it's the perfect oh no, oh yes, oh no, or no, oh no, oh yes, oh no. As I thought I missed the platform on the first jump. So yeah, what I love about this game is I think for what they were going for, it is the right amount of difficult. In that it ramps up slowly. There's no big giant spike in there. And I think the bosses are all relatively once you figure out what to do, they're not that difficult. Like this was meant for children, not like
Well, yeah.
not a baby game for babies. It's not like any of the Mickey games that we've played, or games like that. But it is meant for, they'll get like they don't hold the kids' hands like they do nowadays with some of the kiddie games.
Well, Mark, you say that, but this game has a lot of tutorial in it. I was very surprised.
Yeah, no, what I mean by holding hands is that it never gets difficult.
Oh, yeah. Well, it definitely gets difficult.
It like games nowadays. I think somebody complained about the Bluey game was just basically like there's no like stakes or difficulty to it.
Well, yeah, because it's for 3-year-olds.
No, but it's like
literal baby game for babies.
But what I was saying is back in like the 90s, even games that were like outside of Sesame Street games, which were just teaching games, a lot of these games that were platformers and stuff, they didn't take it easy on the kid.
They did not.
No, they didn't.
Because the difference is, and this isn't like, oh, it was better back in my day. It's more because they were competing with less. So they knew the kid would have just this game and would push through it, which we all did. And that's what I appreciated a lot about the game. The only boss that really requires you is a little difficult is the final boss, the second phase of it. Just knowing when to time the fireball to go out. But outside of that, everything is there's only one enemy that's real dumb. It's the enemy that you have to hit with a certain to break it up. and sometimes they only give you a certain amount of shells to do that. If you miss with one of the shells, you have to reset the room. Those are frustrating. You're getting to that, Jen. That's later.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the overall the game is fantastic. It's definitely, it's probably not like S tier Super Mario game, but it's definitely an A.
That's
In that
that's damn
respect.
good.
Yeah.
I would say. Like I said, as I was playing through it, I was very surprised at how much tutorial there was in the game. I guess because moves took. I guess that they is because they introduced moves as you went, and they weren't just all you get them all at one time. I guess that's why they did it. I don't know. I just I did like the fact that they told you, how to do certain things with certain Yoshis. And I mean, the art style catches you immediately. That intro sequence, the intro screen,
Yeah.
seeing that now blows me away. I can only imagine how it would have looked to like 10-year-old me or 12-year-old me, whenever it came out. It must have been 10 because it was probably 96, 95, 96. So I can only imagine my mind being blown by that intro sequence and seeing the giant island and the wobbling text. It just looks great, and the music is so much fun. Like I love the music when you go down a pipe. It's like I would just listen to that song on repeat. But yeah, it's a lot better music than some other Mario games, I would say. It's cute, but at the same time it's still somewhat contemporary, and I just enjoyed it a lot. I mean, the gameplay never felt unfair, which is good. Aside from auto scrolling levels, which we already covered, and we hate those.
Yep.
But yeah, I had a great time with this, and I'm sad that it doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. Because it's kind of the redheaded stepchild of Mario games, because it's not really a Mario game, it's a Yoshi game. Because if you go and play Yoshi's Story on the N64, it's a very similar game. And any like Yoshi's Woolly World or anything like that now, if you go play those games, most of the things started here. And I feel like they did it a disservice by calling it Super Mario World 2. But that's just my opinion.
That's a good point. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I feel like they were just trying to piggyback off that, but Mario, it could be anything. You could put any kind of baby there. It doesn't have to be Mario, and it would be the same game.
Yeah.
You could lift Mario right out.
Right.
But yeah, game was a lot of fun. I want to hear what we have given these for a score. So, Mark, what do you give for Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island for a score?
Yeah, so I give it, like I said, a 4 out of 5, or 4.5 out of 5. Like I said, S tier games are all 5 out of 5s on, Mario 1, Mario 3, World, 64, Galaxy. Those are and I haven't played Odyssey yet, so don't come at me with ranking that. But those are the S tier games, and I think this falls into the lower tier, the A level, with like all the 3D worlds and the new Super Mario Brother games and stuff like that. I think it very much, I haven't played enough of them, but I could make an argument that it could be the best Yoshi game of the Yoshis.
I could get on board with that.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, everything is perfect about this game. And I'll have you guys answer one question. How much did you try to 100% the levels? Do you
I
know
tried
that you
as hard as
100%?
possible.
Yeah, like in the beginning I tried, and then as I started missing flowers, I was like, just
Yeah, it depends
Yeah.
on the situation. Like if I was about to fall off of the edge and actually die, I'd be like, I'll try it once and then probably not going to do that again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So that's the other side thing, is that, again, knowing kids will play these games over and over and over again, it actually gave you a reason to do that.
Yeah.
Here. But yeah, I love everything about this game. I hope the new Yoshi game that's coming out seems to be slightly inspired in terms of art style, so maybe that'll be a good one.
Yeah. I'm looking for I need to try another Yoshi game because I do enjoy these games, so I'd be interested. All right, Jen, what do you give us this game for a score?
I think I'm also gonna do a 4.5 out of 5. It's not a full 5 for me. But it just pretty much did everything right, and you can't fault it for having platformer things to it, like the scrolling and, the slipperiness. I really appreciated, again, the music, the art style. I really liked the fact that there was so much packed into this little game. You were constantly learning things as you went along. It wasn't overwhelming, which was really nice. Like you guys said too, it wasn't overly difficult. I think it had the right level of difficulty. And I also really appreciated how if you get hit once, you don't just die and start over necessarily. Obviously, you have to chase baby Mario and his cry and all that, but you have more of a chance to continue through the level, and there's checkpoints which are really nice. So it was a very kind platformer, I'll say. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go after talking about it. I'm probably gonna go play it later again. So I'm looking forward to getting more experience with the game myself.
I love that. That's what this is all about.
Yeah. Yeah.
As for me, I am also going to jump on the 4.5 train. I'm going to give this game a
Nice.
4.5 out of 5. It is an excellent handling, sounding, looking game. I can't really knock it for much besides the fact that it's not Super Mario World 1. That's about it. That's
Fair
about all I
enough.
can take away from it.
This is the second
Um,
episode in a row that we've all agreed on a rating.
It is. Look at that. I guess when we get more time, we get
Yeah,
on the
that's
same
true.
page. All right. I believe it is time to spin the wheel.
Let's spin that wheel, Tom.
I hope you guys bought some Happy Meals because we are playing Mick Kids for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Hell yeah.
Sounds interesting.
I have never played this. I've heard decent things. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if you're not a fan of clowns, you may not like this, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know what to expect here. And clearly none of us have played this game, so this should be fun.
Very interesting.
So I think that's gonna wrap it up for us this evening. Like I said, if you haven't watched any of our live streams for Extra Life, go check out the VODs. We put all the VODs up for the past live streams, and tune in every Saturday until the end of the year. Especially tune in on December 6th at 8:30 p.m. We will be doing our Jackbox night. Find us at twitch.tv/GameVaultPod. And Jen will be doing more streams throughout the rest of the year. And she is also playing for our team. She's got her own team that is a part of our team. So go check her out over there at Roxy Foxy. Jen, do you have a schedule, or have you just been kind of winging it lately?
Mostly winging it, but I try to do one weekend stream and one weekday stream if I can. Sometimes it's more than that, sometimes it's less. But I think Sundays are probably my most consistent stream day, but it's definitely fluid depending on the week.
Okay. Yes. At ROXIIFOXII.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And make sure you're following us on all social medias at Game Vault Pod on Instagram, even though we don't really post there, Threads, Blue Sky. And Mark, do you have any other special things you want to throw out there for Extra Life before we get out of here?
No, there's going to be, like I said, a big 12-hour one coming up in December. That might be when I'll do the special game. I have art created for it. I just got to change the date on it. So yeah, that's coming up. And then the December 31st, I still got to come up with theme. If you out there have a theme that you'd like me to play, like last year we played all licensed games, which inspired me to play Jaws the next year to beat, because I almost beat Jaws on that stream. And then the other one, we did the Shuffler. I did that one year. Outside of, I downloaded all the, because Fuser basically doesn't exist anymore. So there's this website you can download and do a back way to put new songs into it. So I've added some fun songs. So I need a theme around, like, Fuser is its own thing, but I need what the rest of the night is. If you can come up with that, I'll appreciate it. But everything else is basically winging it on Saturday. It just be whatever I'm feeling during that week. And then we always do the 2 to 3 hours of Trails in the Sky. No matter what on Saturday.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope we see you in the coming days and weeks. And if you're playing along, let us know what you think of Mick Kids. So, for Mark and Jenny, I'm Tom. We will catch you guys in the next one.